Welcome back to a Life Under Construction podcast. I'm your host, Rhoda Daniel, and I'm extremely glad that you are joining me for yet another episode today. I hope you had a good week, and I hope you got the chance to catch up on all these episodes that we've been putting out this season. This season has been very interesting and has been a season of learning and growth, even for me, as I've delved deeper into this topic of man's search for meaning, and I hope that it's been the same for you as well. I know these episodes have been pretty heavy, but I believe that this topic, this theme, has been very eye opening for so many of you, and I hope that it continues to shed light into those dark corners of our life that are still yet undiscovered. Treasure always needs to be looked for. It's not easy to find treasure lying out there in the open. If it's lying out there in the open, it's probably not treasure. It's probably not precious enough. And I think that's the same with our purpose and finding that meaning and purpose in our life. It's something that we need to dig deep into ourselves to find. But that journey, that process, that ability to find it and then be able to live that kind of life that gives us fulfillment, that gives us satisfaction, is definitely worth the effort. When we're talking about this topic, when we're talking about dreams and vision and purpose and meaning, people often tell me that I did once have a dream. I did have an idea of what I wanted my life to look like, who I wanted to be, but life got in the way. Things happened. Life happened to me, and I had to reprioritize, and somehow that dream, somehow that desire was left behind. Life does happen. Life is hard. Things do cause us to reprioritize our responsibilities in that moment. But today I want to tell you that even if that has happened, it's not too late to go back on that journey of discovery of who you are, who you were meant to be, and what was the kind of life that you were meant to live. It's not too late, so keep listening, keep watching, and let's talk about this. There is this story told of a 3-year-old who wanted to be an astronaut. I'm sure all of you have heard this story before, where this 3-year-old comes to her mother and says, I want to be an astronaut. The mother says, okay, for that you need to study really hard, go to college, learn a lot of science, and pass a physical fitness test. The 3-year-old looks at her mother, shrugs, and says, that's just 4 things. We may laugh at that extreme confidence that only a 3-year-old would have, and that complete disregard for reality that only a 3-year-old could have. But I think there's a lesson in there. At that moment in time, that 3-year-old girl believed with all her heart that she was going to be an astronaut, and she just had to do 4 things to get there. However, if I would have to imagine what happened to her if she was like any one of us, normal people, maybe she went to school and found science a hard subject. Maybe it got a little too hard to study that, so she shifted gears. Maybe the people around her told her that, do you really want to be an astronaut? Why don't you be a doctor? Or why not an accountant? That's certainly possible. It's a little easier to get there. Maybe life got in the way and she had to get a job, and the training to be an astronaut would take years, and she couldn't wait that long to have some kind of financial stability. She needed to get a job to support her family. So she let go of that dream and got a job instead. So many things could have happened to derail her from that path of becoming the astronaut that she once truly, with all her heart, believed that she would be. Now, if I met that girl, now woman, in her life who let go of that dream many years ago, who has somehow decided to live with whatever cards life dealt her, I would still tell her that you still have a purpose in life. There is still something so uniquely you that you can offer this world. It's not too late. Maybe that is becoming an astronaut because there's no age limit to it. But maybe it could be something completely different. I would still tell that woman today that your life matters. Your dreams matter. Who you are matter. Who you want to become matters. And I would say the exact same thing to every single one of you listening to this today. Your life matters. Who you are matters. Who you want to become matters. How you envision your life to be matters. It's not too late. It's just that we have stopped trying because there have been multiple obstacles, one after the other, that we have just given up on trying to find that one thing that would give us meaning and fulfillment in our life. I'm not saying that we have stopped striving. We all have goals. We all have dreams and desires for our life. But most of our goals are to live a successful life and not a meaningful life. And most of the times, that successful life, or what success is defined by the people around us or society. Success means getting a good education, getting a good degree, getting a good job with a good package, with good benefits. It could mean getting married, having kids, building a house, buying a car or two. It could mean settling your family, settling your extended family, making sure your kids have a future. None of these goals are wrong, but none of these goals on their own provide a sense of fulfillment in life. There is something more that all of our hearts long for. If we slow down enough, we sometimes hear that nagging feeling in ourselves telling us that, is this it? Isn't there something more to life? And then we think maybe if I get that next degree, if I get that promotion, if I buy a bigger house, I'm going to feel that sense of satisfaction. But when we do that, that still does not satisfy us. We still want more and more and more and more. How much is going to be enough? You ask a millionaire and you will find out that they're not happy if that is the only thing that they have set their lives on. You ask someone who is the most qualified person in the world, they will not be happy if that is the only thing that they have built their lives on. It is only the people who have some sense of meaning or purpose, who know that they are doing this for a reason, who will be happy. And those may be people who are successful in the eyes of the world or whom no one might know. Fame, money, a career, qualification on their own do not satisfy. All of our striving, all of our energy is getting used up in pursuing things that, yes, are important, but are not the be all and end all of life. All our energy is going towards that, and what is left? Nothing. And so we are going through life believing that we are living and breathing and alive, but we are just existing. So how do we get out of that rut of mere existence? The first thing to do would be to start dreaming again. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. Age is just a number. It's not too late for anyone to start dreaming again. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter what you have been through already. I always believe that nothing in life is wasted. All experiences, good, bad, and ugly, are never wasted because all of them lead to who we are as individuals right now. And that is going to help us live the life that we were meant to live. So it doesn't matter where you come from. It just matters that you are going somewhere. So start dreaming about that somewhere. Start who it is you want to be as a person. Start dreaming about what you want to do with your life. Start dreaming about how you want to serve other people. Start dreaming. The second thing to do, and maybe you might have to start with this before you start dreaming, is to stop blaming life and circumstances. Life is hard. Everybody's life is hard. No one has been able to escape hard situations. No one. No one is able to escape hard people. It's a part and parcel of everyone's life. The difference is how you react to what you are going through. If you sit and blame life and blame circumstances and blame people, blame God for all that has happened to you, that's fine. You sit and you sulk and you get upset and you get angry and become bitter. But that is stopping us from moving forward in our life. That is stopping us from leaving those things behind and saying, okay, yes, this happened to me and it was not fair and it was heartbreaking and it was hurtful and I don't know how I made it past that situation, but I'm here right now and I don't want to stay here. I want to move forward. I want to live the life that I was meant to live despite everything that happened to me. Obstacles are going to be there. We can either let those obstacles stop us, or we could be like those runners who run those hurdles or run over those hurdles, who see the hurdle but somehow jump over it and ensure that they keep on running. If you imagine life as a race and you have 80 years maybe to live in this race, you could let the hurdles of year 10 or year 20 stop you, and you can remain there and you're still alive. There is still blood pumping through your body and there is still breath in your lungs. But are you really living? And that's what differentiates a person who is actually living versus a person who's merely alive, who's merely existing. Is that the person who is living is pushing past those obstacles, is constantly seeking, is constantly persevering towards that goal that they have in mind, towards that vision for their life that they have in their mind. Perseverance is a quality that all of us would do well to develop, because perseverance means doing something continuously, even though it's hard. Don't stop searching, don't stop seeking, don't stop trying to find what your life means. Don't stop trying to search for that one thing that makes you excited to get up in the morning. Don't stop striving to find that one thing that you can offer this world. Sometimes that thing is easily discernible. Someone who has a natural talent of playing the piano knows that they want to be a piano player because that is the thing that gives them the most sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in their life. But sometimes those things are not easy to discern. Those things are not something that comes so easily to us. In my case, I did not know what I wanted to do when I was younger. I found this PowerPoint recently, which I had made when I probably was in the fifth or sixth standard. We had our first computer, and I was probably trying to figure out how to use PowerPoint. I had written in that slide, who do I want to be when I grow up? I'd written things like teacher, archaeologist, scientist, ballerina, and I'm nowhere near any of these things, like nowhere near. But because I had this desire to know what my life means, to know what my existence on earth means, I was constantly trying to look for, why am I here? What am I supposed to do here? What is it that I can offer here? I was conscious of the fact that there's something that only I can do, and I want to find that thing. And when we keep seeking, we find. Opportunities open up. But when we're not seeking, we're only seeing our circumstances. We're only seeing our problems. We're only seeing the darkness around us. That is so hard to see that one speck of light that is there. But because we are so consumed by the darkness, we are so consumed by the now, that we are refusing to look up and see that light that is there at the end of the tunnel. That light that is calling us toward it, saying, keep moving, keep walking, keep becoming who you need to become so that you can reach that destination. It is when we stop looking, when we stop seeking, when we stop living as if our life doesn't really matter, that we actually die, essentially. And I'm sorry for putting it in such harsh terms, but my dad says it more subtly, and he says a life short of attainments is a life shorter than its length, which basically means if you're not doing anything with your life, you might as well be dead. According to Mark Twain, a person has two most important days in their life: the day they were born and the day they find out why. Most of us have not had a second important day. Yes, we were born, and yes, every year we celebrate it, but have we found the reason why we were born? My hope is that all of you listening, however you stumbled upon this podcast, that you would find that reason why you are alive today, and that you would be able to live the rest of your life with that purpose in mind. Because that life is going to be so great and so beautiful. Not that there's going to be no problems, but it is going to be a life that you can look back on and be proud of. The only thing we need to do is keep persevering, keep seeking, keep searching, keep moving forward, even despite all the obstacles that come in our way. It's not enough to just sit on the sidelines and watch other people live their lives. It's not enough to just cheer on other people or critique other people. There's a part of the speech by Theodore Roosevelt that I really admire and I really like, and I'm going to read parts of it to you. And he says, "The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly." There are two types of people in this world. The people who are actually in the arena, who are striving, who are desiring to be great. And they are daring greatly by putting in all their heart, soul, mind, and strength into whatever it is that they have been tasked to do. Or the other type of people who are there on the sidelines, maybe cheering, maybe critiquing. But the thing is, it is the man in the arena or the woman in the arena who goes home at the end of the day feeling a sense of accomplishment, feeling a sense of fulfillment and contentment in life. The audience, the people on the sidelines, also go home at the end of the day, but they go home empty. They go home with nothing. My desire is that all of us strive to be that man in the arena who is striving to give himself or herself to a worthy cause. Maybe you succeed, maybe you fail. At least you tried and you were in the arena, and therefore you can go back home tired but yet grateful that you at least gave it your best shot. That is the type of perseverance that life needs from us. Not the perseverance that runs away at the first sign of trouble. Not the perseverance that gives up when life happens to us. Not the perseverance who hears the feedback or critique of other people and stops trying to do what your heart tells you to do. Perseverance means doing something hard, but it definitely means that it's going to be worth it. To those of you who are still listening, I hope that today you have made a decision to persevere, whatever it is that you feel led to do. I pray and I hope that you continue down that path. And if you have not started down that path, I pray that you take that decision to take that first step, to seek your purpose, to seek for the thing that gives you satisfaction and fulfillment and contentment and peace and joy in your life. Because I truly believe that if you seek, you will find. And if you have any further thoughts, comments, questions, feel free to DM me at a life under construction on Instagram, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can comment down below the video as well. Once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again next week with another topic that will help you live a life of purpose and help you live the life that you were meant to live.